Hello, my name is Stacy Sewell, and this is for my public speaking class 181. Today I will be talking about proper etiquette and proper dress for a job interview. I would like to start off by thanking everyone for taking time out of their schedule to sit and listen to my presentation. I really appreciate it, and hopefully you will learn something today about proper etiquette and attire. First, I'm going to start off that when you're out and you're out job hunting and you're looking for that perfect job that you really want to do, you send your resume in or you complete an application, they call you for your interview. When you are called for an interview and it's the morning of your interview, you should always make sure that you arrive 15 minutes ahead of time. If your interview time is at 10 o'clock, you should be there no later than 9:45. You should always prepare because things happen. And the one thing you do not want to do is be late for your interview. Employees believe that if you're late for your interview, you will be late to work. So it sets a tone for you. And 9 times out of 10, that person is probably not going to hire you because you are late for your interview. Once you get to your interview, before you get to your interview, when you are thinking about what you're going to wear to your interview, please allow me to let you know blue jeans is not appropriate for a job interview. If you are a man, you need to at least wear a tie. You can do a nice pair of slacks or khaki pants, a button-down shirt, and a nice tie. If you are a woman, you should always wear business attire to an interview, regardless if it's a pantsuit or a skirt suit. You need to wear business attire when you are coming for an interview. Once you are dressed and out and you arrive to your destination, you should always mentally prepare yourself for questions you may think is going to be asked. Also, educate yourself a little bit about the business that you're going to interview for, because you never know. They might ask you, what do you know about the business, and you want to know just a little something about it since you're interviewing there. Once you go in the back and they call your name for interview, you should make sure that when you enter the room that you shake everyone that's on the interview panel's hand, introduce yourself so that they know who you are and you sort of stand out. Once you have introduced yourself to the panel, take a seat so that they're ready to start with their questions. In 2014, this year, most of your businesses, your state jobs, your local big businesses are now doing behavior style interviewing. And for those of you that do not know what behavior style interviewing is, it's when the employees have a series of questions that they ask you. There's no right or wrong answers to these questions. Most of these questions, they will tell you can use your past work experience, personal experience. You can use anything to answer these questions. And once they start, there's normally a series of 6 to 8 questions that they ask you, and that you need to give them an answer, a situation, an action, and a result to each question. And that is what you're graded on now. That is how they hire you, is by the responses that you give to their questions. So you need to be prepared and ready to answer those type of questions. If you've never done that before, you need to go online, research it, Google it, so that you get familiar with that style of interviewing. Once the interview process is done and you've answered all the questions, most employees normally ask you, do you have any questions for us? And this is the time when you get to ask the questions that you need to know. You know, benefit packages, leave time, what the hours are, is overtime allowed? These are the times when you get to ask those type of questions. Also, once at the end of your interview, you should always get up and shake each one of your interviewees' hands and thank them for their time of interviewing you and taking time out of their schedule. Because that's very important, and once again, when you leave, you want to leave a lasting impression on them. While you're there, doing your interview, always make sure that you are setting up a proper statue. During your interview, no slouching, no leaning over, don't put your hand on your face, those kind of things. You need to make sure that you are confident when you're being interviewed. Once you leave there, you should always make sure that you follow back up with the business. Make sure that you are calling them and letting them know you're very interested in the position. Wait about a week or 2 before you give them a call. And just to say you're checking up on your application, you just want to know where they were at in the interviewing stages and see if, if someone can just give you a call back and give you an update. Most of the time, when you either get a phone call or a letter saying that you either got the position or they found someone else that is more qualified than you were. And I've heard people say, how's someone more qualified? I got all these years experience, I got this, I got that. Well, one thing I always tell them is that your first appearance is everything. When people see you, when they talk to you, you should always use proper etiquette because they'll pay attention to that. You may have a lot of the experience, but when it comes to interviewing, if you don't interview well, someone else gets picked. So you want to educate yourself before you go into these interviews of what is going to be expected of you once you get there and the questions that's going to be asked. I'm hoping that you listening to what I have to say helps you all. I sit on an interview panel and I interview all the time for positions within the state. And that is one of the things that we see more than anything is that people are not familiar with the behavior style interviewing. Folks coming in for interviews in blue jeans, polo shirts, just not proper dress attire for an interview. And also just people are just not prepared. They don't know anything about the business, anything about what they're interviewing for. So always educate yourself before you go in for an interview. So hopefully the next time you go for an interview, you don't get that letter saying that someone else was picked. I hope that my points that I'm giving you will help you get over that hump and get the next position that you put in for. So I thank you all for coming again and have a good day.